So I found a few articles that I will reference in this video today. They were published by heretical publications, but they provide some interesting information. The first article was published in the National Catholic Distorter. It was about the Bishop's Working Group against Joe Biden's pro-abortion stance. So if you'll recall, Archbishop Gomez in the last USCCB meeting talked about organizing a group to investigate or discuss Joe Biden's pro-abortion ideas. And this group was sort of formed secretly because only National Catholic Distorter has this information. The USCCB has not publicly released which bishops are part of this committee, but the National Catholic Distorter lists their names. Included are Archbishop Cordileone of San Francisco, Cardinal Dolan of New York, and Archbishop Naumann of Kansas City, who is the pro-life committee chair of the USCCB. There are several others. You can take a look at the list, but notably excluded are Cardinal Gregory of Washington, D.C., and also Biden's bishop in Delaware, where his home is. The National Catholic Distorter was upset about this because Cardinal Gregory has a notably pro-abortion stance, or at least a very soft position on abortion, as opposed to some of these other bishops who are pro-life, or as we would say anti-abortion, as the Catholic faith requires. This ties into an article in America Magazine, the publication that is run by Father James Martin. The America Magazine article talked about how Cardinal Cupich met with Pope Francis on January 30th. So Cupich was already in Rome to be meeting with the Congregation of Bishops, and in this article it says the congregation advises the Pope on the selection of bishops. So Cardinal Cupich is in charge of appointing bishops. He's part of the McCarrick Network, so the McCarrick Network is alive and well within the United States. So the sources from America Magazine said that Pope Francis would talk to Cupich about the situation of the USCCB in the United States, namely how Gomez released a letter criticizing Joe Biden's pro-abortion stance, and Cupich actually criticized Gomez for releasing the letter. So Pope Francis has made it very clear that he will meet with a cardinal who holds a lot of anti-Catholic ideas. When it comes to cardinals who are actually concerned about the church and concerned about false teaching, Pope Francis refuses to meet with them. Examples are Cardinal Zen and Cardinal Burke. But anyway, it just goes to show that Cardinal Cupich is one of the most powerful cardinals in the United States. I think he's the most powerful cardinal in the United States, with Cardinal Tobin coming in second. And Cupich and Tobin, along with a number of bishops, are part of this rainbow squad in the United States bishops. They receive preferential treatment from Pope Francis, while the rest of the USCCB is fighting against the abortion agenda. Here, this anonymous source from America Magazine, talks about building bridges. He talks about Eucharistic coherence, and by Eucharistic coherence, this source means refusing communion to pro-abortion politicians. But Eucharistic coherence hasn't been a priority of the Vatican ever since Pope Francis took over. Because if it were, then he would issue a very clear statement about how pro-abortion politicians should not receive communion, and he should also say that the divorced and remarried should not receive communion, because it's against the Bible. Jesus literally condemns it in the gospel. But as for bridge building, this rainbow squad is building bridges so that people can jump off of and end up in hell, and we're not going to stand for it because we are the laity and we will not be silent.